When you know that you are rich, not because of your riches, but because of your being, you are intelligent. When you recognize a master, you are intelligent. When you are ready to let go your ego to the master, you are intelligent. When you play the game of life, enjoying every moment of it, you are intelligent. A small story. 3 men were asked the same question. What would you do if you were told that you had only 10 more days to live? The first man said, I would put all my work in order, tie up all ends so that my family does not suffer after I am gone, and then I will live peacefully. The second man said, I would enjoy life to the maximum, doing all the things I have never done before. The third man said, I would consult another doctor. This is intelligence. When you can be spontaneous, instead of getting caught in the solid and familiar tracks that you have built for yourself, you are fluid and intelligent. In a hospital, the telephone rang and the nurse answered it. A voice asked, May I know how Chanda Basu of room number 10 is doing, please? The nurse replied, He is doing well and we are hoping to release him tomorrow evening. Whom am I talking to? The voice replied, This is Chanda Basu. You never tell patients anything in this place. This is intelligence. When you are not stuck at a point for long, when you don't stay challenged for long, you are intelligent. Now listen to this. A man took his city friend to his farm. He showed him around and then later asked him, You must have found it amazing to see so many sheep. Did you attempt to count them? The friend replied, Oh yes, there were 300. The man was surprised and asked, How did you manage to count them? The friend replied, Oh, it was simple. I counted the number of legs and divided them by 4. This is not intelligence. This is a way to show how we can complicate simple things in life. Next, coming to innocence. Children are the best way to understand innocence. They just speak out without any editing. They don't calculate. They are so total in their behavior, never cunning or hypocritical. This is innocence. But what do we do to them? We try our best to teach them how to edit their words, how to manipulate. We teach them to move from their heart to their mind so that their pure innocence becomes contaminated by the mind. A small story. A boy was told that a wealthy aunt was coming to his home that day and that he had to be in his best behavior. The aunt arrived and a grand dinner was served for her. The boy was watching her continuously throughout the dinner and finally he asked, Auntie, when are you going to do your trick? The lady asked, What trick, my dear? The boy replied, My dad said that you drink like a fish. Children simply talk what they feel like. They express so freely. That is why they are so joyful to watch. That is why we all enjoy them. Their innocence attracts us. But we don't understand this and we teach them to become cunning, to become manipulative. This is what we do continuously. A child went up to her grandfather and asked, Grandpa, can you really imitate a frog? The grandfather was surprised and asked, Why do you ask? The child replied, I heard my parents saying that when you croak, we'll have a small fortune left for ourselves. We are being hypocrites all the time. We never express ourselves freely. We are thinking something and talking something else. We have become so ugly because of this. We have simply lost our innocence. Children are not hypocrites. They are so natural. They are beautiful because they express themselves freely. A mother was leaving her child with her friend for a day. She told her child to remember to thank the friend before coming away that evening. The child returned home, and the mother asked if she had thanked the friend. The child replied, "I didn't, because when the other girl thanked her, she said, 'Don't mention it.'" This is how children are. Of course, it is our duty to teach them basic things like gratitude. But I am trying to make you understand that we should not make our children hypocrites. Let them understand the game and play it with awareness, with no ego, but only awareness. Give them the basic rules and intelligence to discriminate for themselves. One thing, the innocence of the child is due to its ignorance. This innocence is bound to be there in the child because it is yet to be influenced by societal conditioning. But once the conditioning starts happening and knowledge is gained, the child loses its innocence. But the child can reconnect back with the innocence that it loses over the years through deep awareness. This innocence regained is the real innocence, because this innocence is not out of ignorance now, it is out of a deep understanding. This is the difference between the innocence of children and the innocence of masters. Mundane knowledge squashes the innocence and nurtures ego, but intelligence and awareness can put knowledge aside and bring out the innocence once again. When this happens, you have found the way. Swamiji, how should we relate with God? God is not any separate entity for you to relate with Him. Understand that first. He is not sitting above in a place called heaven and waiting for you to relate with Him. He is there in each and everything in this universe. Everything has been created by Him. He is the creator, creation, and the created. He is the experiencer, the experienced, and the experience. God is the name that we have given to existence, that's all. When you understand this, you have started experiencing God. Then there is no question of relating to God. People ask me if I feel close to God. I tell them that I am God. I tell them that they are also God. But of course they are not willing to accept it. They want to know how to get close to God. Close itself means there is some small distance separating you and God. I am telling you that you are God. Then where is the question of close? Do you understand what I am trying to say? It is very simple. God is nothing but the name that you have given to existence, and you are a part of existence. When you live in tune with existence, when you have found your connection with existence, you are God, that's all. When you live with a feeling of intimacy with anything and anyone that comes your way, you become pure consciousness. When you can feel the same love towards everyone around you, irrespective of whether you know them or not, you are experiencing the God in you. This is a simple scale to tell you how far away you are from God consciousness. When you start falling in tune with existence, you will start hearing the inner voice in you. Then no other guide is needed. You don't need people to tell you what to do and what not to do. You will simply know. Your intelligence will keep guiding you. You will flow without feeling the heaviness of having to make decisions. A master is one who can awaken that inner voice in you. He works on you to awaken your intelligence. Most of us can love only with a reason. This is how strong our ego is. When you are like this, be very clear. You are very far away from God. We claim that we shower love on our family and friends. Just look at all the masters who have happened on planet Earth till now. What is the